Breaking news in Winchester tonight. Police are investigating a shooting that they say killed one person and injured several others.
A big-time storm system rumbling across the Bluegrass State. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey with a wild Christmas Eve forecast coming up.
How an Eastern Kentucky veteran is still finding ways to give back to others despite a devastating illness.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a breaking news alert out of Clark County. Winchester police tell us that 4 people were shot tonight in an apartment complex, and one of those victims later died. Winchester police were called to the Summit Apartments on Oxford Drive about 8 o'clock tonight. Jerica Insko is tracking this investigation tonight. She joins us with the breaking details.
And it's not a real good sight to see.
Winchester police are still on scene investigating this quadruple shooting that happened here around 8 o'clock. Winchester Police Chief Kevin Palmer tells me 1 person is dead and 3 others are at UK Hospital, 1 man with life-threatening injuries. Chief Palmer says the shooting spread between 2 floors of 1 building here at the Summit Apartments, with shots going through the floor. A man who does maintenance at this apartment complex says he's in shock hearing the news.
There's some that's already scattered, that was scared, that heard the gunshots. Then there was some that's just standing there just in shock, you know, just like everybody else.
As far as who's responsible for the shooting, police are still looking for suspects, but they do say they know multiple people are involved who do not live at this apartment complex.
It's just a bad night to be in Winchester.
That's right. Winchester police tell me this is not a random home invasion or anything like that. They say that a couple of the victims do know the shooter or shooters. If you saw or heard anything near the Summit Apartments here in Winchester, you are asked to call police. Reporting live in Winchester, Jerica Insko, WKYT.
Jerica, thank you. Winchester police say that right now no one is in custody, and they say they are not sure if they're looking for one or several shooters. And now to the weather, which is expected to be windy, wet, and wild. A big storm system could cause some travel troubles on Christmas Eve. We've already seen some heavy rain and rumbles of thunder tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has the updated holiday forecast, and he shows us what he's tracking on the First Alert Defender. Chris?
Yeah, Sam, a lot of rain out there already with a wind gust of 40 miles an hour this evening into parts of the Lexington metro, and that's a sign of things to come as we head into Christmas Eve. A busy period to say the least, and Live First Alert Defender has been on top of it all day long with a lot of heavy rain, gusty winds coming at us. The rain, by the way, coming at us in waves. So we've been getting showers, the occasional rumble of thunder, and Defender as of now with a little break in the action across parts of the Bluegrass region. It is just a temporary break, though. Heavier rains across eastern Kentucky, where we've been really picking up on heavy rains for the better part of the afternoon and evening from eastern Kentucky into the southern part of the state, where the next round is on top of Knox County, over toward Barberville, Williamsburg, into sections of Corbin and into Lake Cumberland. All of that is going to continue to lift its way on in from the volunteer state of Tennessee. Here's another break across western Kentucky, but I'll show you why that is getting ready to fill back in. Big area of low pressure. That is our storm system that is destined for central Kentucky very late tomorrow morning into the afternoon. That low that is now across Mississippi will be basically right on top of Lexington tomorrow afternoon. That's going to crank those winds up. Out ahead of that, by the way, we've had a massive severe weather outbreak with fatalities with tornadoes, unfortunately, into parts of Mississippi. Here's what we're tracking. Things start to get a little wild out there over the next 12 hours as thunder and high winds begin to crank up even more so. And then by tomorrow afternoon and evening, Sam, temperatures take a big tumble. We have the potential for some snowflakes. The updated hour-by-hour forecast showing a little quicker transition to some snowflakes when I come back in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. As you just mentioned, authorities in Mississippi say severe storms and possible tornadoes have taken some lives. At least 4 people have been killed. They say a man and a woman inside a mobile home were killed in Jones County, along with 2 people in Columbia. Mississippi's governor says the storms have damaged homes and businesses and left thousands of people without power. Storm damage has also been reported in parts of Louisiana and Alabama. Some tense moments for passengers on an American Eagle flight tonight. The plane had to make an emergency landing in Lexington. Bluegrass Airport managers say the plane originally took off from the airport on the way to Chicago, but about 20 minutes later, they say the plane had to turn around because of an emergency. American Airlines is telling us the cockpit crew noticed an electrical smell. Airport managers say the plane landed safely at Bluegrass Airport and no one was injured. One passenger said she was a little nervous.
We were just reading our magazines and heard the engine make some strange noises, and then it seemed like the plane was slowing down a little bit, and we could smell and see some smoke coming through the ventilation.
American Airlines officials say the flight was canceled and the plane will stay in Lexington overnight. They say there were 7 passengers and 3 crew members aboard. They'll make other flight arrangements for them tonight. She is in the fight of her life. An Eastern Kentucky veteran is battling a serious illness. And despite that, she's still finding a way to help other people this holiday season. Tonight, she and her husband made a huge donation at a children's home in Wolfe County. Victor Puente has the story new at 11.
It's been 3.5 years since Crystal Singer was diagnosed with ALS.
The initial shock was, it was devastating.
The fight with the disease has left her in a wheelchair and left her unable to speak.
She's going to live her life the way that she's going to live her life, not living her life with ALS and letting it dictate her terms.
She and her husband Sean met while serving with the 82nd Airborne in Iraq. When they retired, they moved to Kentucky. It was here she learned of the Desi Scott Children's Home from her sister.
We've been blessed a lot. God's blessed us, to be able to give back a little bit, and that's what Crystal wanted to do and what I wanted to do.
Last year, she put out the word that she was collecting toys for the young men at the home. She got enough for 12. This year, she more than tripled that, getting presents for all 38 kids.
A lot of our kids don't get to go home for Christmas. They're missing out on some of the things, that normal kids get in their life. We were ecstatic and thought it was a great thing.
Through messages, Crystal told me she had been blessed with so much under the circumstances, and she just wanted to give back. Some of those young men came to say thanks for her efforts.
ALS might have took Crystal's ability to speak, it might have took her ability to walk, but it didn't take her heart and it didn't take her mind. And as long as she's still got those 2 things, I fully expect her to keep doing the same things that she's always done.
The presents will be opened on Christmas, but her real gift may be the example she's setting for them and everyone else. In Wolfe County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
What an incredible couple. The Singers have a cattle farm in Estill County. Sean Singer says that was always their plan, and they weren't going to let Crystal's ALS diagnosis interrupt it. Lexington police are still trying to figure out what led to a crash that sent 6 people to the hospital. It happened this afternoon on Russell Cave Road, just inside of New Circle. Police say it appears that one car T-boned another one. Police say that 5 people, mostly children, inside a Lexus had to be cut out of the car after the crash. They were all taken to the hospital along with the driver of the other car. Police say an adult in the Lexus was in critical condition. Investigators called a frustrating crime. They say vandals damaged at least 8 cars in Mercer County. Most of the cars were on Mackville Road. The Mercer County Sheriff says someone smashed windows out of the cars, but he says nothing was actually taken from them. One of the victims tells us the damage made her angry.
I just think it's ridiculous that people have to be that mean or whatever to do something like that.
Investigators say the vandals have caused thousands of dollars in damage. The sheriff says there is a reward of up to $1,000 for any information that leads to an arrest. Quite a surprise today for many people around the Bluegrass as they received some unexpected Christmas gifts. Father Jim Sitzko of St. Mark Catholic Church in Richmond went place to place today giving away $4,000. He paid for groceries for customers at Kroger and paid drive-through orders for customers at a McDonald's, and then even handed out $100 bills to people at Fayette Mall.
I'm going to buy your groceries today. Yes, I'm serious. No, yep. Nope. Merry Christmas to you. I don't believe it. Yeah. Yep.
The Catholic priest says he planned to keep handing out the money until it ran out. He said he hoped these random acts of kindness brought joy to people who received them. Money coming from an anonymous donor. Just days after pulling the plug, Sony changes its mind about showing that controversial movie called The Interview in 9 minutes, why the company made that change. And then how police say they managed to find those accused of stealing copper from highway lights throughout central Kentucky.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
We continue to track breaking news out of Winchester tonight. Police are telling us that one person has been killed, 3 others injured in a shooting in an apartment complex. This happened about 8 o'clock tonight at the Summit Apartments on Oxford Drive. Winchester police are still investigating what led up to the shootings. They say the 3 people injured are now at UK Hospital, and one of them has life-threatening injuries. Police do not think the shooting was random, but they have not made any arrests. Please check WKYT.com for any updates over the morning hours. We'll have the latest tomorrow on WKYT News This Morning beginning at 4:30. The controversial film The Interview will be shown in some theaters after all. This coming after Sony Pictures pulled the film last week after terror threats from a hacker group. Sony Pictures said today it will allow select theaters to show the film beginning on Thursday. The movie is about a plot to kill North Korea's leader. Some independent theaters said that they wanted to show the movie despite the threats, and Sony agreed, granting permission to more than 200 theaters.
I think it's really the outpouring of people all over the U.S. and the world who want to support, freedom of creativity, freedom of expression.
Some theater owners say they will have extra security on hand to make sure moviegoers are safe. Managers of the theaters of Georgetown tell us that they do plan to show the movie on Christmas Day, but no times have been set. The Kentucky Theater in Lexington also hopes to show it, but it will not be until next week at the very earliest. A grand jury has indicted a couple for stealing copper from highway lights around central Kentucky. Aaron Ferguson and his wife Cindy both face theft charges. Police say the couple stole copper wires from highway lights in 9 different counties, including Fayette. Police say the thefts caused tens of thousands of dollars in damage. Police say a tip led them to the couple's home in Winchester. They say they found some of the stolen copper there.
Nobody gets away with anything in this Commonwealth, and the criminals are brought to justice.
Police say they're still investigating some other copper thefts, and they're offering a $2,500 reward for anyone who has information leading to an arrest and conviction. During this season of giving, a Lexington veterinarian clinic wants to help animals that vets say are often overlooked. The Lexington Hospital for Cats is collecting donations for its Angel Cat Tree. Employees have decorated Christmas ornaments for the tree, and on the back of each one is a request for an item the Lexington Humane Society needs for its cats. Donations will be collected through New Year's Eve, and if you'd like to help out, just stop by the Lexington Hospital for Cats on Southland Drive. If you're still looking for a real Christmas tree, you're in luck. The Kroger Marketplace over on Richmond Road is giving away its remaining trees for free. A sign announcing the free deal was posted outside the store this afternoon, so check that out. Well, Santa Claus will begin his annual journey around the world just a few hours from now, and you'll be able to track his entire trip online. As always, volunteers with the North American Aerospace Command, or NORAD, will monitor Santa's journey. They'll also spend Christmas Eve answering phone calls and emails from children asking about Santa. You'll be able to track Santa online by going to WKYT.com. We'll have a link there to NORAD's tracker beginning at 6 tomorrow morning. Let the journey begin.